Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today, talking a little bit about the college baseball season, how many games are played, when the games are typically played. So we're going to kind of go over all that at the Division I level. Now, every division is different. Today, we're going to hit on the Division I level. And so, in the spring, teams can play 56 games. All right, so that's a full schedule. That's not counting playoffs. Not counting the tournament or anything like that. But 56 regular game schedule. Typically, you're going to start towards the beginning of February. When I was at Wake Forest, we usually would start usually like the second week of February. Same thing with Holy Cross. At Holy Cross, we were in northern schools, so we'd go down. We typically play the first couple of weeks down south. So we'd play... When I was there, we went down and opened up a 3-game series with Texas A&M, and then we went down and played Richmond. So we played a bunch of teams that were a little bit more south, where we'd get down and get into some good weather, and then we'd start playing some home games a little bit later, usually once we get into March, as long as the snow was gone. Sometimes it hangs around a little longer than we'd like. At Wake Forest, we could play some home games in February because of the weather. It'd still be a little chilly, but it wouldn't be terrible. So typically you start early February. And how the games usually work is so let's talk about Wake Forest, ACC. If you're in a pretty big Division I conference, you're typically going to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's usually how the series goes. So you usually play 3-game series with teams. So you'll play them Friday, Game 1, Saturday, Game 2, Sunday, Game 3. And then you're going to have some what are called midweek games, where it's usually going to be typically like a local team. So again, at Wake Forest, we're in North Carolina. So we play teams like Appalachian State, Davidson, UNC Greensboro, UNC Wilmington, those type of schools. We would play, those would be our midweek games. So usually a team would come in on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and we'd play them. So we're almost always playing at least 4 games a week, sometimes 5. And the season goes from the beginning of February, and you're going to play through February, through March, usually through April. And then you're going to play a little bit in May. And then typically the conference tournament usually happens in May. Again, it depends on which league and conference you are in. But that's how we did it at Wake Forest, all right? And then again, those Friday, Saturday, Sunday games are going to be all your league games. So when you're playing any other ACC school, when Clemson, Florida State, UNC, all those schools, NC State, those are going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. So at Holy Cross, a little bit smaller conference. So what we did there is we typically would do 2 games on Saturday. So doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday. So we would play 4 games instead of, so again, in the ACC and in a lot of the bigger conferences, you're going to play 3 games against the same team. In the Patriot League, we would do 4 games. So we'd play 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. The league was a little bit smaller. Patriot League doesn't have as many teams. And so you do that 2 and 2. And then during the week, you're going to do your midweek games again, okay? So when I was at Holy Cross, again, being in Massachusetts, we'd play teams during the week. Let's see, we played Boston College. We'd play Hartford. We'd play Harvard. We'd play Dartmouth, Brown, Yale. So a lot of the local Division I teams where the driving wasn't super far, teams would come in and play us on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, sometimes both. And then again, we've got our 4 games on the weekend. So again, it varies a little bit depending on the conference that you're in, but you're going to typically play your 56 games. You're going to play your big conference games either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday doubleheaders. And then you're going to play your midweek games during the week, and then conference playoffs start usually sometime in May. And then if you're lucky enough to win your conference, or if you get a bid to the regionals, you're going to start those regionals right after, usually a week or so after your conference tournament and see where you go from there. You got the regionals, and winners of that go to the super regionals, and then the 8 winners of that go to College World Series. So that's how the typical Division I season runs. Hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video with all your friends, all that good stuff. We got a deal going on with Plate Crate. If you click the link below, type in Antonelli, get 50% off your first Plate Crate. Also have a link to our Patreon page. You can help support the channel. We got a bunch of other stuff as well. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.